World Baseball Classic injuries. This was a heated conversation among Twitter over the last couple of weeks. Basically, anytime anyone got a bruise, anytime anybody hit their funny bone, people were calling for this tournament to be canceled. Now, I'm not sure why people just very much like there's a small subsect of baseball culture that despises this tournament.
No, it's not just this tournament. They hate everything. All they do is watch baseball, but they hate every second of it. Is how it should be put.
It's
They
just
complain
painful
about
because
rule changes. They complain about the luxury tax. They complain about practically everything that you could complain about. It's like at what point do you enjoy watching baseball? Because if you're just there to complain, like, well, what is the point? Like,
yeah, and it's like, this has such an opportunity and earned on that opportunity to be a really cool showing of just how great and just how unifying baseball can be. And people just don't want to appreciate that just for the sake of being miserable sometimes. And you listen in, their points make no sense. Like they're like, these guys should be focused on the teams paying them millions of dollars, not their country. That you're never going to win me on that argument. You're never going to win me over because, this country has also given you the opportunity to make those millions of dollars. You should be serving it. As far as I'm concerned with talking about the guys who didn't show up, there's no excuse. Unless you are actively injured. Like, I'll give a Nestor Cortez is the perfect example of this. Nestor Cortez, 100% going to do it. Team Puerto Rico or Team DR? I forget.
Team USA.
Was he US? Oh my gosh, he was US. That's right. I don't know. I'm not sure how I got that turned around. Team USA gets hurt. Ended up being just like a bump bruise type situation in spring training, drops out. I get that because at the end of the day, your season is coming right up and you do have to look out for that type of stuff. But at the end of the day, if you're not actively hurt, what reason do you have? The fear of being hurt should not keep you from doing something like this because you can get hurt just as easily doing any other portion of this job. You can do this easily in spring training. I think the two best examples of this are Edwin Diaz, which I'll let you touch on in a second, and Jose Altuve. Jose Altuve, in particular, people were up in arms like he'd never get hurt if he didn't. He got hurt because he was playing in this stupid tournament that doesn't pay him anything. And first off, not everything's about the money, which kind of finalizes our last segment there. But also, any number of pitchers could have run him in by accident with a fastball and hit him in the hand in a spring training game. Honestly, because those guys aren't as locked in, aren't as focused, and like these guys are all ramped up a little bit more, so they're probably sharper than most pitchers out in spring training right now. Because of that, I would say it's probably more likely for a guy to get hit and break his hand like Jose Altuve did in spring training than it ever would be in the World Baseball Classic. And Edwin Diaz is in a similar state.
Yeah, and it was really making me mad when people were like, it's just these are just exhibition games, like it's just a random tournament. We should have the tournament right after the World Series. Like, first of all, no. Like, do we should these guys deserve a break after
Yeah, that point it's exhausting.
Yeah,
this is a nice warm up.
The tournament was in the perfect time, first of all. Second of all, for all the people mad that Edwin Diaz, he got hurt celebrating. Okay, first of all, guys get hurt in the dumbest ways possible in every sport. Need I mention? Did we forget about Fernando Tatis in the motorcycle? Like, is that a long gone thing? Like, did we forget about that? Did we forget about Madison Bumgarner in 2017 and what was it? It was an ATV. There was some horseback thing or something.
It was ATV, I believe.
There was.
You're forgetting the big one here, which is Yoenis Cespedes back in 2021 getting attacked by the boar in Florida.
And it's look, injuries are gonna happen. I've seen in the NFL guys get injured, like celebrating a sack all the time. I think Justin Houston, it was the guy a couple years ago who was like who was the big injury
Well, this
after.
is the exact same thing as Jimmy Garoppolo, as far as I'm concerned. Jimmy Garoppolo, when he tore his ACL, that kind of, may or may not have derailed his career. That guy, it was a non-contact injury. Non-contact injuries like that, just like Diaz, those are going to happen sooner rather than later. Had he not pitched in the World Baseball Classic, there's a good chance he doesn't make it through April, May without having this become an issue, because that tendon is just it's not okay, and it's not going to just suddenly become okay.
Right. And I just look, these guys are out there representing their country. All the players who played in this tournament said that it was one of the most important things that they've done, the most important games they've played in their career. Trey Turner, I mean, for a guy who's won a World Series and played in Game 7 of the World Series, said the home runs that he hit, the go-ahead grand slam, that's the most important hit of his career. It clearly means a lot to these guys, and for some Twitter folk to just try and take the tournament down because they're salty that one of their players on the team that they support got hurt. Like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you.